Billy, let's bring in Cynthia Fischer, California Holocaust Education and Resource Center. Hello, Cynthia. How are you? Tell people about your resource center.
All right, we're brand new. We just got our nonprofit number in January, although this has been percolating in my mind for a couple of years. It started with the Holocaust Memorial that we're building out of buttons in Visalia. We're going to need 6 million buttons in order to build this thing.
6 million buttons?
6 million.
And how are you making a memorial out of buttons?
Well, they're going to be contained. No, they're going to be contained in plexiglass and iron art. And it's going to be fabulous, actually, and quite large. And it's going to, we need 6 million buttons because that's how many Jewish families, men, women, and children, perished in the Holocaust.
6 million?
6 million. We currently have over 3 million. We've been collecting for 3 years. But that's just one project of the California Holocaust.
Was this your idea, Cynthia, the buttons?
It was. It is
How'd you
my
come up with
idea. I went to Jerusalem, to Yad Vashem, which is the Holocaust Memorial in Jerusalem, and they have, one of the things they have is a pile of children's shoes. And when I say a pile, I mean a mountain of children's and babies' shoes, because 1.5 million of the 6 million were children. So buttons come in all different sizes and colors and shapes. And actually, more than 6 million people perished in the Holocaust. 11 million people perished. 6 million were Jewish men, women, and children. But they murdered Polish people, Jehovah's Witnesses. They murdered all the disabled people, homosexuals, anyone that didn't fit into their idea of Aryan superiority. And so that evolved into a project of developing classroom trunks that contain books and DVDs and museum exhibits, artifacts from the Holocaust, as well as a teacher's curriculum and lesson plan notebook, so that teachers and schools can borrow for free, this is a nonprofit, either the 5th and 6th grade trunk. This is an example of, this is the middle school trunk, so, but they can borrow the elementary trunk, which is more of an introduction, nothing too graphic. And then the middle school trunk, and it has maps and just all kinds of materials that a teacher can use, either one book, one DVD, one lesson plan, or she can keep it for a month and use as many as possible to teach her class not only about the Holocaust, but about genocide. And then we have the high school trunk, which is 9th through 12th grade. Now, our program is going to start working with another nonprofit in Visalia called Pro Youth Heart. And they have an XL program, which is for the high schools. Because, you know, kids need to belong. They have a tremendous need to belong. This can be wonderful if children do belong, but so many children are out of the box, so to speak, and they don't belong in some way. And so children need to belong, they need community, they need an education, and they need social skills, as well as strengthening their academics. And so this program is going to be available in the high schools as part of the Pro Youth After School program, which is run by Daniel Herrera in Visalia.
Well,
but any teacher and any school can borrow our trunk at no charge.
Let me ask you something.
Sure.
Currently, in the school curriculum, how in-depth do they get about the Holocaust?
There is a requirement to teach about the Holocaust as part of World War II. So in history classes and social studies classes, English classes, literature classes, and even drama classes, there is a teaching about the Holocaust. But the Holocaust is one of many genocides that have taken place in the 20th century. And now in the 21st century, we have all kinds of genocides going on in Syria and the Yazidis in Iraq and many other places.
I guess my point is this: is that I feel like it's glazed over. I was in school once, you know.
Yes.
And we learned a little bit about it, but we didn't learn much about it.
I think we were taught that it happened, but I don't think we're taught how it what led up to it, and how it fits in today's political landscape, because it really does fit. One of the ways that we bring theater, film, and art to the Visalia area, and that is about once a quarter. We bring theater, film, and art as a way to educate and draw more attention to politics and to world governments. And really, people need to become, starting with our young people, good global citizens, not just thinking about music and video games and maybe where they're going to go to college. I mean, they really need to understand that my generation is passing on the responsibility onto their shoulders, and without a serious appreciation for how these world wars developed and why they developed, I think that they will be, it's like building a house without a foundation. They will be easily manipulated. So this is an art, this is a billboard. Now, this is 1915 was the Armenian genocide by the Turks, which they still deny. Okay? And so the next one is obviously a picture of Hitler, who came to power in 1939. Now, Hitler was able to do to the Jews and the other 5 million groups of people, like I said, the Poles, any religious priests that were against the war and the treatment of the Jews, well, they were put in the concentration camps too. Anyway, so the next one would be ISIS. So if you turn that around, so then the other way, the other way, this is an example of the Turkish genocide of the Armenians in 1915, and you see he's got a Turkish hat on.
A fez.
A fez, thank you. And then this is a representation of Hitler. Well, what would
with a bad haircut?
What would ISIS be? So my challenge to artists would be, how would you add to this poster? So so it doesn't just start out. People don't just start out hating people. You know, if you know any 2-year-olds or 3-year-olds, do you know who they hate or what they hate?
Vegetables?
Naps.
Oh, yeah, naps.
Vegetables
Okay, yeah.
and naps.
Right.
They don't hate people who are different. They don't. And so it's taught. Hate is taught. And this is an example. This is called the Pyramid of Hate. Your people may have it up to be able to put on the screen, but if not, hate starts with prejudiced attitudes that is taught. And then those can become, as the pyramid escalates, to acts of prejudice, discrimination, and different kinds of violence. It can be violence against property or violence against people. And then, God forbid, it can be a systematic statewide genocide where people are ethnically cleansed. And we have had many examples of that in the 20th century.
Wow.
So this is a poster about fighting injustice with our Holocaust button memorial. We're halfway there, but we need buttons. I will be happy to pick them up, or other individuals in my group would be happy to pick them up from all over Tulare and Kings County in the Central Valley, or they could be mailed to our office at 114 South Stevenson in Visalia. And my phone number is 559-308-1333. So we want to create a better climate in the schools and strengthen the academics and help young people learn about their history and learn that they have a responsibility to be a global citizen, that is appreciative of diversity. You know, people are always talking about biodiversity. Oh, we can't destroy the forest and because, you know, we might need the plants for medicine. Well, people are a part of that diversity. And so they need to learn to love and appreciate and cherish all different kinds of cultural groups that basically come from different tribes.
I'm curious, when you were in Jerusalem, were you there? Well, why were you there? Were you there vacationing?
I was there visiting family.
Okay.
And I also went there with my rabbi and my congregation one time, but I've actually been 5 times
when you had the
Israel.
inspiration to do this, did you just happen upon the Holocaust Museum, or were you planning
it was
to go?
Intentional. It was definitely.
Did you take the trip because of that?
I took the trip because my interest is in Israel, which is a democratic country in the Middle East, where homosexual lifestyle is protected, where it's a democratic country, where there are Arab citizens that serve in the Knesset, which is the name of the Israeli parliament,
right.
Where freedom of religion is protected. So there are churches and mosques, and the Baha'i faith is there, and synagogues, of course. And so I have family there, and I wanted to visit, and I enjoy an education and feel myself fortunate because my grandmother, who lived with us, lost 6 of her family. They were originally from Holland and came to this country in 1923, which was before Hitler came to power. But it was already, my grandmother was savvy politically. Anyway, they came to this country. So 2, my grandmother and 1 other sister, survived the Holocaust. 6 of her siblings died in Auschwitz.
So she was born in Holland, but was she Jewish?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, definitely Jewish.
And
so
you were raised Jewish.
I'm born and raised Jewish,
So-
yes, and still practicing.
So it was somewhat natural for you to be interested and want to learn about the Holocaust, right?
It is, yes,
Had a personal-
especially since I have family members who perished. My whole entire father's side of the family, we don't know what happened to them from Czechoslovakia.
Wow.
So, yes. So these trunks are free to all teachers and schools, whether it's a public school, a private school. This is the curriculum notebook. We have posters according to grade level, books according to grade level. One trunk has 11 different DVDs in it. There's lesson plans. There's museum exhibits in little plastic standalone containers, artifacts from the Holocaust. This is a wonderful book. This is an overview on bullying, because you could even look at the Holocaust as the cancer of bullying, because they targeted specific groups. And in schools, frequently children who are
The weak.
diverse or the weak, they are weak because maybe they haven't been in this country that long. And so bullying can escalate even to a statewide, nationwide level.
These trunks are for school kids, they're for teachers, and is there a place people can go in and just see it, just everyday people that aren't in class?
Yes, they can come to the Holocaust Education Center office in Visalia at 114 South Stevenson. I'll be happy to show
what
them.
What part of Visalia is that in?
Downtown.
Is it?
It's 1 block from Redwood High School.
Okay.
That's right. And I am looking for student interns
Okay.
to work at our center and to be able to teach at least one component about the Holocaust. It could be about the resistance fighters, it could be about the ghettos, it could be about the killing centers, it could be about children.
Did they call them killing centers?
Yes, they did.
Wow. Wow.
So, could be slave labor camps.
All right, Cynthia Fischer, man, pretty awesome thing you're doing here.
Thank you.
After hearing the story and listening to you, it's just it brings back all the memories of how horrible this it really was.
I hope everyone will look for our next theater performance that we bring to Visalia. I am sharing the script of Ten Boom, which is the story of a Christian family in Holland who hid Jews. And Corrie Ten Boom, the mother, actually was caught and sent to Auschwitz. But these are righteous Gentiles who risk their own life to save Jewish people. So
Pretty
we have
awesome.
brought Eddie, the play Eddie, we've brought Yanka twice, and now I'm looking to bring Ten Boom, which is a musical, actually,
Wow.
about the Ten Boom family, a Dutch family. So I hope anyone with a production company in the San Joaquin Valley will give me a call and want to take a look. I have the script and the music.
I'm pretty sure there's the right people are watching.
I hope so.
Cynthia, thank you very much for what you're doing for the Valley. We appreciate
Thank you.
Hey, we're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back. Stick around.